Human Resources Management. Human Resources Management is the organizational function that manages all of the issues related to the people in organization. That includes but not is limited to compensation, recruitment and hiring, performance management, organization development, safety, wellness, benefits, employee motivation, communication, policy administration, and training. Human resources management is also a strategic and comprehensive approach to the managing people in the workplace culture and environment. Done well, it enables employees to contribute effectively and productively to all overall company directions and accomplishment of the organization goals and objectives. The department members proves that knowledge, necessary tools, training, administrative service, coaching, legal and management advice, and the talent management oversight that the rest of the organization needs for successful operation. Thank you.
Human Resources Management. Human resources management is a strategic approach to managing people in a company or organization in such a way that they assist the company acquire a competitive edge. It is intended to maximize top performance in support of a company's strategic goals. Primary goal. Human resources management primary responsibilities, including planning, controlling, directing, and organizing company activities, as well as a worker use recruitment and staffing. Main objectives: defining organizational structure and driving productivity, building coordination between organizational departments, offering employee satisfaction, keeping up with the societal and ethical models, and organizational goals. Disadvantage of being a manager in human resources and management. Maintaining a safe distance, higher competition, lower recognition value, greater experience expected, conflicts of opinion, legal liabilities, and position restriction.
Personnel administration is also called human resources management and human capital management. This is the work of manager. Managers are also responsible for making rules and now know how to promote, train, and discipline. Manager must also have a supervisor. Supervisor must be responsible for develop and monitor the personnel policies because a successful management of people is an key of organization effective operation.
Those who perform personal activities in the public sector do so in a political environment as stakeholders compete for favorable treatment or consideration from public bureaucracies. The reactions to Secret Service agents engaging in inappropriate behavior in Colombia just prior to a summit attended by President Obama in 2012 illustrate the case. Secret Service agents play a prestigious and important role within the law enforcement community, from preventing fraud and counterfeit to protecting prominent figures. The actual agents involved also took steps to protect themselves against legal action. Incidents at the White House in 2015 embarrassed the Secret Service as one intruder made it into the White House unimpeded and crashed a car into a barrier at the White House. Both agents were intoxicated and Congress held more hearings. Another good example of political environment of public personnel administration was the dramatic shift in policy toward public sector unions and collective bargaining. Those efforts led to protracted political fights over the issue.
The environment of public personnel administration.
Personal administration is also called human resource management. They are the one who handle the people in an organization. In order for an organization to be called successful, personal administration take charge of the people, and they must know how to recruit, select, evaluate, promote, train, discipline, and dismiss employees. Those who perform personal activities in the public sector do so in a political environment as stakeholders compete for favorable treatment or consideration from public bureaucracies. In short, bureaucrats engage in politics to maintain their status.
Political considerations include policy issues that are addressed by public personnel administration. The following are some important recurring issues. First, how collective bargaining and the mere concept can coexist. Collective bargaining is a process of negotiation between employees and a ground of employees aimed at agreement to regulate working salaries, working conditions, benefits, and other aspects of workers. For an environment, collective bargaining for managing private business, for example, PhilHealth or any other companies. The field in collective bargaining is ga-discuss siya sa mga public administration and implement the economics, sociology, philosophy, and political and etc. Second, whether the public service should be used to solve problems, for example, by being the employer of last resort, taking affirmative actions, stimulating the economy, or satisfying the demands of mid-range special interest with convincing claims. An environment in public service should be used to solve social problems. The field. Our area of public service field includes teaching, counseling, and administrative position at public. Third, how to reconcile continued demands for higher level of service with demands for lower taxes and smaller budget. It's to maintain the demands we need to create a balanced budget. For example, review financial reports, compare actuals to last year's budgets, create financial forecasts, identify expenses, estimate, review it, and etc. In the environment is to manage all the functions of the company and standard and others. The field. The field is a process of reconciliation requires immediate interface between the supply and demand side.
Fourth, how to maintain a political response without endangering the concept of it. Bureaucracy as possible and get things moving to solve all problems like training, meetings, and reporting. The problem, but it also know how frustrating that can be for an employee who just wants to get the work done effectively as possible. The environments of public personnel administration. On the role of environments of public personnel administration, it will be addressed such as attends a sustained economic growth, the promotion of social development, facilitating infrastructure, the environment promoting public-private partnership, managing development programs, and maintaining. The field of public personnel administration. Field of public personnel administration, it is now becoming a prominent and influential force in the government system of developed countries and society. It is simultaneous an academic field of study as well active field of training. Current political issues and bureaucracy are related to administrative agencies. Fifth, how to hire and retain the best talent. I think how to hire the most deserving applicant. If the ability of the person can work wonders, example in company, that person would be a great asset for the company development. The environment of public personnel administration. The environment of public personnel administration usually stay longer. They also help you attract top talent by showing the best potential hires that the employee meets someone impressive in her daily life, indicating the company may be a great fit for his skill and experience. The public personnel administration talent is the abilities that we are born in with which lead to a satisfactory performance both in learning and in the execution of skill to become successful.
Environment of public personnel administration. Personal administration, also called human resource management and human capital management, encompasses all activities related to people organization. It entails the use of human resource to accomplish an organization object as effectively as possible because successful management of people is the key to the organization effective operation. Good personal management is essential to good administration. In turn, good personal administration requires both intellectual and interpersonal skills. Personal managers must know how to recruit, select, environment, promote, training, discipline, and dismiss employees. They must be at a meeting, counseling, and bargaining with works with additional personal manager classify position. Develop compensation plans to measure productivity and handle and complaints. In short, personal management involves all aspects of organization, human resource, and public personal administration. Refers the function of government. The personal administration is also universal management active. Every supervisor is in effect a personal manager. Where personal office develop and monitor personal politics supervise are responsible for buying them out. Supervisor are the critical links in the personal process because they deal with employees daily. The organization effectiveness is a turn highness in part of how will supervise perform their personal function.
Those who perform in personal activities in the public sector do in a political environment as stakeholders. Compete of favorable treatment or consideration from public bureaucracies. Therefore, bureaucracies have a stake in the process and engage in politics to maintain their status. The reaction to Secret Service agents engaging in inappropriate behavior in Colombia, just prior to a summit attended by President Obama in 2012, illustrate the case. Congressional leaders quickly began hearings on the incident citing security concerns. But at the same time, they were also attempting to score political points with constituents and embarrass administration officials. In response, the Secret Service moved to institute a new policy to prevent such incidents. In the future, the actual agents involved also took steps or protect themselves against legal action. Unfortunately, for the Secret Service, incidents at the White House in 2015 again embarrassed it as once intruder made it into White House unintended. And two other agents crashed a car into a barrier at the White House as others were dealing with another security breach. Both agents were intoxicated and Congress held more hearings, another good example of the political environment of public personal administration was the dramatic shift in policy toward public sector unions and the collective bargaining after the 2010 to 2012 and 2014 elections, in which many governors and legislatures were elected and immediately began a process to curb the bargaining rights of public employees. Those efforts lead to political fights over the issue.
Modern personnel to political concern. With over 20 million people on its payroll, the government is the largest employer in the country. managing people who do the nation's work is of critical importance to politicians, government leaders, and citizens alike. Personnel management is a government, politics, and process 8th edition examines that progress and innovations that public personnel professionals are making to address changes in the political, legal, and managerial environment of government. It provides students with a comprehensive understanding of human resource management within its historical and political context in the public sector. A number of new developments are addressed in the 8th edition. Human resource management in nonprofit organizations in an all-new dedicated chapter. Current and future challenges to recruitment and hiring, including the use of social media in recruitment, privatization and contracting out, the rise of employment at will policies, digital technology or digitalization in HRM, and the need to enhance cybersecurity. Managing performance with human capital analytics, increased reliance on telework, states' attacks on public sector labor unions. HRM changes under the Trump administration. Since publication of the first edition in 1977, personnel management in government has addressed issues not yet considered mainstream, but that have proven central to the development of the field over time. This long-standing but no less innovative textbook is required reading for all students of public, government, and non-profit personnel management.
The environment of public personnel managers also includes many other forces. The employer and employee values affect the personnel system, and these values affect the types of personnel policies development, the decision-making rules, and the result of processes. Conflicts over values to be represented are resolved through politics by Louis in 1967, Newland in 1967, Rich in 1982, and Rosenblum in 1981. And because of that error of many personal decisions were being made by compromising the differing values and interests of these participating in personal decisions, a basic form of politics according to Thompson, 1983.
Paulite suggests that we have the end of government sin-centered public service and the beginning of the multi-centered public service 1999. This he means that government managers no longer can decide how to approach the public service from only their perspective. So, perspective means perspective is the way that one looks something. It's also an art technique that changes the distance of an object on papers. An example of perspective is a farmer's opinion about a lack of a rain. An example of perspective is a painting where the railroad tracks appear to be curving into a distance. So, si Paul John naa siya'y perspective service. If government is to compete for employees, it must compete for the talent, recognize that the diversity of the workforce requires focusing on what potential employees, what from their jobs, decent pay and security are no longer that the only things potential employees seek. So, they expect flexibility, interesting work, and opportunity for professional growth and personal fulfillment. Also, si Paulette said is naasad siya experience or Hmm. Aside sa iya ang pag-suggest naasad siya na nahatag og service sa public, like Polite has made tremendous contribution to revolution of the new public service. Said new NYU Wagner Dean Blue Avi Beauford, through his provocative and groundbreaking scholarship, as well as his expert service to high-level public officials and the commissions, combining academic excellence, cutting-edge research, and rigorous real-world experience. NYU Wagner educates tomorrow's public service leaders. So, we're thrilled to have Paul Let John join NYU Wagner at this time of great momentum for the school and for public service. Generally, said Professor Ellen Scaldian, designated of NYU Wagner and the co-chair of the faculty search committee. Polite is Douglas De Leon Senior Fellow and the founding director of the Brookings Center for the Public Service, and served until earlier this year as its vice president and director of government studies before joining Brookings in 1999. He was director of the Public Policy Program and the Pew Charitable Trust in Philadelphia from 1995 to 1998, where he was responsible for designing and overseeing in program for renewing civic life in the United States. Oto, naasad siya service sa atua before siya nag-suggest adtong kang suggest sa public service and the beginning of multi-centered public service 1999. Ug mao lang to, daghang salamat.
Changes in society also affect public personnel management. When we say personal management, it is the planning, organizing, compensation, integration, and maintenance of people for the purpose of contributing to organizational, individual, and societal goals. Factors such as civil rights movement, the women's movement, affirmative action and diversity efforts, cutback management, and privatization of public service. When we say privatization, it is a piece of property or business goes from being owned by the government to being privately owned, and ever-changing on technology also affect personal management. And that's all. Thank you.
Hi, I am Kisha Rose A. Kagay, and today we will discuss about changes in management approaches. When we say changes of management had a significant impact in our organization of personal functions. Managing of the human resources, for example, like writing, staffing employees benefits, compensation, and more are now under the partnership between Human Resources Department and department managers and supervisors.
Good morning, ma'am. My name is Denzel Elivitario. I will report the topic of civil service and merit concept. So, civil service is a system of civil servants who perform the assigned function of public administration. And the merit concept is the merit system is the process of promoting and hiring government employees based on their ability to perform a job rather than on their political connection. So, today, civil service and merit concept reveal in public personnel management. Many challenges of both concepts regularly occurs. Numerous states have experimented with removal of civil service protection to use at-will employment in which employees can be easily terminated. So, naay mga tao diri ma'am nga kuan kani si Condrey 2002, Gusset 2002, Kim and Kilo 2014, Negro and Kilo 2002, Rowe 2012. Public sector laborers unions enjoyed tremendous growth during the 1960s and 1970s. So, although civil service systems have been under attack in same state since the 1980s, the public sector remained a major growth area of union membership until dramatic political change in 2010 brought into office elected officials hostile unions bargaining. As a result, many public sectors unions saw the declines in their membership by 2012. That's all. Thank you.
Scott Walker of Wisconsin uses his successful effort against public sector in his state as a major issue in his presidential for 2016. Private sector have faced has been declined for decades. Measure to social activity is one way. Politicians have attitude to accept control over public sector personnel management. As the rest of the book demonstrate the portion of management employees, elected public officials, citizens, and themselves are affected by the changing manner in which personnel are managed.